Are you the type of person that kind of has always embraced technology, or was this a completely new concept to you when you started having a system installed in your house?
Yeah, I've always embraced new technology. I like it and enjoy it, and I've worked with Keith Russell here in Denver for almost 15, 20 years now, and so he's always keep me up to date on the new things that come out electronically that are more convenient and make the life a little bit easier. And so I embrace electronics. I like it.
What was the reason behind your decision to have a control system from Vantage installed in your house?
Well, I think number one is that it was wireless. I think that Vantage, and look at their system, and it was wireless. My house is 30 years old, but I've done a lot of work over. I've lived there for 20 years. And I've done a lot of work over the time, and so in putting in a new system, it was important to have a wireless system, and that's where Vantage came in. And in fact, we believe that there was the best system out there wirelessly to be able to get as many controls throughout the house as possible, whether it be lighting or drapery or whatnot, and plus the size of my house. And I was always one that when my mom, when I was brought up, always said turn the lights off when you leave the room. And so therefore it drove me crazy. It always drove me crazy at a big house to have to go around and turn all the lights off. And so this system was intriguing to me too, because I could push one button knowing that all the lights were going to go off in the house, and I didn't have to walk around each room and turn them off. So the ease and convenience to be able to tie it in. But the key thing was to be able to do it wirelessly, just the way that my house was set up.
Okay, and so obviously then lighting plays a huge role in the convenience factor of the system. Were there any other hot buttons for you? I mean, was entertainment a big important factor, or?
Well, I think, number one, I think lighting is so important in any house, whether it be inside or outside, so be able to set up different programs, different scenarios as far as the way the house is lit. It was always important.
Okay.
As it came down to, we were able to plug in our draperies, a lot of our drapery, especially in the master bedroom and master bath, be able to tie that in. Again, going back, obviously, for the ease, the idea of making it easy. And so, I mean, those were the type features that, I was excited about. The audio-visual, obviously, with everything that's out there that way, it was also something that's important to tie it all in.
Now, you said you had different lighting scenarios, so did those complement different activities you do in your house?
Yes, at different times of day, and there was 3 different ones. We're still playing with all the different types of programs. We're still kind of messing with it to get the lighting just right, but I've always felt lighting was so important, not only inside the house but outside the house. And so to be able to set those scenarios up, as you said, the different, whether it be early evening, later evening, if we have people over, depending on which room we're using, to be able to have different scenarios like that.
Okay. Now, are you one that you're going to use the lighting system to also, I know some people use it to showcase different parts of their house, like if they have a special piece of artwork or a unique element of architecture. Is that in the works too?
I'm not a big art collector, but we do have some different things that we do try to feature, but that's not, it's mainly the mood lighting of each different room rather than pieces of objects or architecture within that room. It's more the mood.
What sort of devices do you use then to interact with the lights and the shading?
Well, they're on the wall. It's the wall system. It's on the wall, and then we're also we're exploring the app on iPad now.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
Yeah.
Do you already use an iPad?
I do. So we've had the wireless touch screens, but we're now exploring also with the Vantage's wireless touch screen, but we're also now exploring the iPad to see how it ties into that too. So. Okay.
How difficult was it to learn how to use these touch screens to get the lights to do what you wanted or the grapes to do what you wanted?
It was actually pretty easy once you get it. I understand what it's all about. I think it was relatively easy, and I think that's one of the things that. I talk to Keith, who does all my AV stuff at the house, is that it's always about ease, and if it's not something that you use every single day, the ease of being able to go back and not have forgotten to make it as easy as possible. So it was easy for us to understand and also recollect.
Mm-hmm. Now, does the lighting, is that integrated with any of your audio and video equipment? Say, for instance, you have a scene where you're going to watch movies and the lights dim, or you're going to listen to a certain piece of music and the lights do something different. Is that something that...
Well, it is tied in, not too very deep there, but there are a couple of things as far as the lighting in the family room that we use that I can do off my TV remote.
Okay.
So it is tied into that.
Okay. And so do you have like music throughout the house too? You know,
Yeah.
different speakers and all that? Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And that's controlled through the Vantage touch?
That actually is not. That is not. We haven't got that integrated just yet.
What was the most surprising part of this whole process?
I think, I guess not necessarily surprising, but hopeful in the fact that the ease of use would be, the most surprising thing, because that's what we were hopeful. And plus having everything labeled. We have all the in-wall switches that are all labeled, and so therefore, you can have, again, we go back to the different scenarios where there's, the whole house on and off. We had a label called the cookies, which is, if you want to get to the kitchen, then you can push cookies. Those were set up for her.
What feature about the system do you really think is super cool? Something that you might brag about to your friends or family?
It's one-stop shopping is what I call it. The fact that I can turn all the lights off in the house if I want to from one spot, and that's from my side of the bed. So, I think that is to be able to control the whole house with one button, to where you're not wasting electricity and having to run back and go through each different room, as I mentioned earlier. So I can't tell you how many times I've run down to the basement to turn lights off too. So,
was there a system in your house before that had to be yanked out? I was looking at some pictures that was sent to me, but
it was all wired. I mean, it was all hardwired, and so it was not yanked out. It's still in the walls, but we just changed the system to the Vantage wireless system.
Okay. You have the lights, the shades, the audio and video. Are you going to integrate anything else into the Vantage system that you can think of?
We're exploring all the different options right now. I think once things slow down a little bit, I'll be able to sit down with Keith Stressler, who handles all the stuff here for me, that we'll continue to look at all the different options.
And the fact that it's wireless, it'll make it easy for you to put new stuff in, I would think.
Exactly, and that's what the key thing is, especially with, and like I said, we've done a lot of work on the house over the 20 years, so to be able to do it wireless has been tremendous, and really be able to do what we want to do without tearing up the home.
All right, well, thank you so much.
It's really turned out great. We're extremely happy with it, and so we appreciate everybody over there, Vantage and Brandon, and everything that everybody's done. It's been super, so we appreciate it very much.